Hey, Sporty Shorty, how you doing
Hey,
today?
what's going on?
What's going on? Happy holidays to
Happy
all the folks
holidays
out
to
there.
everybody out there. Hope y'all having a good holiday season.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but yeah, everything's all good.
Good, good.
How about you?
Okay, okay. What we talking on today?
The NBA on Christmas Day.
Oh, the NBA on Christmas
Christmas
Day.
Day.
All right, your
Yes,
favorite, your
yes,
favorite day of the
yes. My
year.
favorite day of the year. 5 games of basketball all day.
All day, all
Yeah, yeah,
day.
yeah. I was in my element. I was in the zone. So yeah, this will be my observations. Uh, let's get it.
Let's get it.
First observation. The NFL.
Your first NBA
My first NBA
observation is
observation
the
is the
NFL
NFL.
encroaching on the NBA on Christmas Day.
Facts. 3 games on Christmas Day by the NFL.
The nerve.
The nerve. NBA has 5 games on Christmas Day. It's been like that for quite a while now. The NFL has their games on Thanksgiving. The NBA schedules no games on Thanksgiving.
Facts.
Big facts. Why are you messing with Christmas? NFL, y'all have your holiday. You have your holiday where you play your games and the NBA is silent. Do the same thing on Christmas. Like, why? Why? I don't get that.
I mean, you know why? You know.
No,
because
it's
it was a
about
Sunday.
it's a Sunday. Yeah, it's a Sunday, but the NFL had games on Saturday.
They did.
They had games on Saturday. Figure out a way not to have NFL games on Christmas. That's generally, and in the past, the NFL has not had games on Christmas. But yeah, I get it. It was Sunday, but at the same time, figure out your schedule where you don't have to do that.
The same way the NBA.
The NBA does it all the time,
Thanksgiving.
and the NBA has 82 games a year. NFL has 17. Figure that out. I didn't watch football
Oh,
because I was gonna watch the NBA,
okay.
which I do every Christmas.
Okay. So,
So-
we won't be getting an NFL.
You're not gonna be getting
video
you're not gonna be getting the NFL video today. So
or this week.
or probably this week. I mean, I might mention a few things that have been happening in the NFL, but like if I do around the world in sports later on this week. But it's not going to be a full slate of me talking about the NFL. It's just not going to happen because I just thought it was tactless to have NFL games on NBA Christmas Day. I just thought it didn't make sense to me. But I know where that comes from. But I digress. That's just something I had to get out because it annoyed me. Because generally I would have watched those NFL games. But it annoyed me that it didn't really annoy me for myself for the fact that I was going to watch the NBA anyway. But you got a lot of people that are really big NFL fans, which I am too, but not the way they are. You got people that like the NFL more than the NBA. So for them, or they like them equally. If someone likes them equally, that's tough. Like, what do you watch? So I thought that could have been handled in a better fashion. But I'll digress, like I said, and I'll move on.
Okay.
But I had to get that out. I needed to rant about that a little bit.
Little rant there.
I had to have a little rant because it did annoy me. It just annoyed me.
Okay. All
But
right.
now that it's out, I feel better.
Okay.
Okay. Let's get back to the games. The NBA ones. First game, New York Knicks played the Philadelphia 76ers in Madison Square Garden. Knicks scored 112 points. Fortunately, Philly scored 119. Knicks competed, though. It was a close game up until the fourth quarter, and that was the story of the game. Close game up until the fourth, and then the 76ers took over in the fourth. Outscored the Knicks 24-16 in the fourth quarter, and that was the game, basically. Joel Embiid was very big, 35 points, 8 rebounds. James Harden, 29 points, 13 assists. George Niang hit some big three-pointers in that game at the end. Julius Randle was very good, 35 points, 8 rebounds for my Knicks. Mitchell Robinson was big in that game. I think he had 16 points, 10 rebounds, somewhere around there. Jalen Brunson was big, 23 points, 11 assists. But another story of that game, Jalen Brunson hurt his hip towards the end of that game, and he had to come out of the game. I think that also hurt the Knicks' chances of trying to get that win. But at the end of the day, it comes down to the Knicks don't have any superstars, and Philadelphia does. You know, when you have James Harden on your team and you have Joel Embiid on your team, it's going to be hard for the Knicks to win games like that. It's just going to be difficult because the Knicks have a lot of good players, but they don't really have any superstars on their team. They have guys that are potential all-stars, but they don't have superstar level talent on that team. And I think that's going to be the difference from the Knicks being a good team to becoming a great team. They're going to have to get more star talent on their team. But the Knicks were an up-and-coming team, and we'll see what happens coming up. But that was basically the first game.
Okay.
You know, but the Knicks, they had a valiant effort. They just couldn't close. They couldn't close. Next game, the Dallas Mavericks versus the Los Angeles Lakers in Dallas. Dallas had 124. The Lakers scored 115. I wasn't surprised by this outcome. Dallas is the better team right now. Luka Doncic has been amazing lately. He's been amazing all season, to be honest. Not just lately. Let me stop.
Not just last night.
Oh, last night. Ooh. Last night he hurt my Knicks bad. He hurt my Knicks bad. That man had 60 points. 21 rebounds and 10 assists. That's the first time that's ever been done. Ever in the history of the NBA.
Wow.
To have 60 points and 21 rebounds in the same game, along with 10 assists. That's never been done in the NBA. There's been a lot of great players in the NBA. A lot. And he's the first to ever do that.
Wow.
And the NBA's been around for quite a while.
Yes, it has.
He's the first man that ever did that in the NBA. I'm like, 60 points. Like, you got to double that man. You can't play him single coverage. Like, the Knicks had to double him, and they didn't double him. They played him straight up one-on-one, and he took advantage of that. I'm like, the crazy part is the 21 rebounds. The 60 points is crazy enough.
Right.
But the 21 rebounds for a man, he's not a center. He's a big guard. He's 6'7", about 230 pounds. But you don't expect a 6'7" guy, 230 to get 21 rebounds. You expect that from a 7-footer. For a guy who plays guard, and granted he's the size of a forward, but for a guy that plays guard, who's mainly on the perimeter, you don't expect him to grab 21 rebounds. That's impressive for a big man to do, let alone someone who plays guard. Granted, he's a big guard, but still, 21 rebounds, you can't let that man get 21 rebounds. And you can't let him get 60 points. Even though he's a great scorer, by the time he got to 30 or 40 points, you might want to start double teaming that man. Let somebody else beat you. The other guys on that team are not as good as him. Let them beat you. If they hit shots, then so be it. But you can't let him keep scoring like that. You got to do something. Again, this video is not about that. But
I'm sorry I had you.
No, it's okay.
I'm so sorry.
But I think I'm gonna do a video on that.
Okay.
But I can't right now. It's too fresh. This just happened last night, and it's like the Knicks did a lot of good things in that game. A lot of good things, and they should have won the game. But again, I'll get back into that at another time.
Okay.
I don't want to go all the way into that because this is not what my video is about. But yeah, he hurt us bad. And shout to him because that was very impressive. He's always impressive, but this was another level of impressive. He made history last night. So I will give him his props.
Good for him.
I will give him his props.
Right.
But it just had to come against my Knicks, which I didn't like.
Right.
But there's a lot of things that happened in that game. So I'll probably get into that on Friday.
All right.
It's Wednesday. It's Wednesday right now, but I'll probably get into that on Friday.
Okay.
I'll probably do Around the World of Sports on Friday, and we can get into that.
All right. All right. So getting back to the
So getting
NBA on
back
Christmas
to the NBA
Day,
on
game
Christmas
two.
Day, game two, like I said, the Mavericks against the Lakers. Mavericks 124, Lakers 115. Luka Doncic, great again. Not as great as last night, but he had 32 points, 9 rebounds, and 9 assists. Almost had a triple double then. Christian Wood also helped him out with 30 points, 8 rebounds, 7 assists. Tim Hardaway Jr., 26 points, 6 rebounds. He, the Mavericks got a lot of production by a lot of players in that game, and the Lakers couldn't stop them. The Lakers were basically LeBron James and a bunch of other guys. LeBron James, 38 points, 6 rebounds, 5 assists, which he did most of that in the first half. But LeBron basically was out there with not much help. Westbrook had a decent game, but and Austin Reeves I think had a decent game. But other than that, it was LeBron. It was LeBron against the Mavericks. And Luka Doncic is going to cancel out LeBron. They pretty much going to cancel each other out. So when you have Christian Wood and Tim Hardaway Jr. playing like that, the Lakers not going to be able to win that game, especially with Anthony Davis still out. Anthony Davis has been hurt. The Lakers have no shot without Anthony Davis being healthy and whole and on the court. If he's not healthy and whole and on the court, the Lakers have no shot. And they basically wasting LeBron James' talent because he can't. He's at the point in his career. He's almost 38 years old. He can't be expected to do it on his own.
Right.
So Anthony Davis needs to get back out there if he's healthy, or whenever he's healthy, for them to have any shot of doing anything. Because they were struggling with him. So they definitely going to be struggling even more without him.
Right.
So, yeah, I didn't think they had a shot against the Mavericks in that game. And that was the truth. They did not have a shot. But LeBron did what he could do to try to, at least keep them competitive in the game. They didn't get blown out or anything like that, but it didn't seem like they were going to win the game, especially the way the Dallas Mavericks were playing offensively. It just didn't seem like it was going to happen. Moving on. The game that I actually thought was going to be the best game of the night was the Milwaukee Bucks against the Boston Celtics. Milwaukee, 118. The Boston Celtics, 139.
Wow.
Yeah, the Boston Celtics are real. They are real. They're the top team in the league. Milwaukee Bucks are right behind them, so I thought it was going to be a very, very competitive game. Greek Freak, 27 points, 9 rebounds, which is decent. It's not a great game for him, but it's a decent game. It's a good game for him. But Jason Tatum, 41 points, 7 rebounds, 5 assists. And his counterpart, Jaylen Brown, had 29 points. So with the Celtics being able to score so many points, it was not going to be the Milwaukee Bucks night. It just wasn't, especially with no Chris Middleton for the Bucks. He's still out with injury. That's too much to put in the Greek Freak's hands to try to win a game against 2 other stars. Like, it's very difficult. Again, though, I thought it would be a closer game just because the Greek Freak is that good. But the Boston Celtics had something else to say about that. They made a statement that they're the best team in the East. And maybe the best team in the whole league. So shout out to the Boston Celtics for doing what they do. As a New Yorker, it's hard for me to say that about Boston, but
I mean, you gotta give them
I try to be somewhat objective, when it comes to certain things, because it's like, you know what, they're doing their thing. They're doing their thing. I'll leave that one there on that. But yeah, the Boston Celtics did their thing against the Bucks. Moving on, next game. Memphis Grizzlies against the Golden State Warriors. I thought that was going to be a really good game too, which it was. It was a pretty decent game. Golden State Warriors 123. Memphis Grizzlies 109. Originally, I thought the Memphis Grizzlies would win this game, but they lost. But I thought they would win, and I'll tell you why. Golden State, no Steph Curry. He's still out with injury. Also, no Andrew Wiggins. He's still out with injury. I think he's going to come back very soon, though. But Memphis Grizzlies, Ja Morant, 36 points, 7 rebounds, 8 assists. Ja Morant was phenomenal. He played very well. But again, he didn't have much help. Jordan Poole for the Golden State Warriors, he was phenomenal with 32 points. He's been doing a good job filling that Steph Curry role. He's no Steph Curry, but he's not that far away.
Okay.
Just in terms of his talent. He's obviously not as accomplished as Steph Curry. He's a young player, but he's got a lot of skill. He's got a lot of skill, and he's been filling in admirably.
Nice.
So good for Jordan Poole. Klay Thompson had a pretty good game, 24 points. He's been up and down this season due to his injury history now. Obviously he's not fully recovered. I think he's well enough to play, but I think those two major injuries that he's had over the past couple of seasons really he's a little different. He's not quite the same player. Still very good, but he's gonna have his off night sometimes, just because of coming back from injury. But he filled in and had 24 points. And surprisingly, the Golden State Warriors, even without Steph Curry and Andrew Wiggins, pulled that game off. So shout out to Golden State for winning that game, because Memphis Grizzlies, they're a really good team.
Okay.
They're a really good team. I think they're contenders this season. But that Golden State Warriors, man, that championship DNA is real. Like they know how to win. Even without Steph Curry, they found a way to win. But shout out to them for pulling that game off, because I didn't think they were going to be able to do it. When I saw who wasn't playing, I was like, that's going to be tough to beat the Grizzlies. They pretty much had their full team. But again, shout out to Golden State. Last game of the night, the Phoenix Suns against the Denver Nuggets. I thought this would be a good game. I didn't think it would be the best game of the night. Guess what? It was the best game of the night.
Okay.
It was the best game of the night. Phoenix 125 points. Denver Nuggets 128 in overtime. It was the closest game of the day, and that game delivered. Best game of the night. I'm so glad I stayed up to watch it, because I was thinking about going to bed, but I'm very glad that I stayed up and watched that game. It turned out to be the best. The last game turned out to be the best game.
Nice.
Nikola Jokic, the Joker. This guy, he was the MVP the past 2 years. He could be the MVP for three years. 3 years. I don't think he's going to be the MVP. Again, it's hard to get the MVP 3 years. I think only a few players have done that in the history of the NBA. But he deserves it. He's one of the players that deserves it. 41 points, 15 rebounds, 15 assists. Triple-double, 41-point triple-double.
Nice.
This guy, any given night, he can put up a triple-double. That's how good he is. And he's a center doing this. To me, he's the best passing big man I've ever seen. And there's been a lot of good passing big men in the history of the league, but I think Nikola Jokic is the best I've seen. His passing is unbelievable for a guy that size. He passes better than some point guards. But yeah, Nikola Jokic, huge game. But he had help. Aaron Gordon, 28 points, 13 rebounds. And he's a player that doesn't average 28 points and 13 rebounds. So he played better than he normally plays.
Okay.
So Aaron Gordon was huge. And Aaron Gordon had the dunk of the day. That dunk, he had a crazy dunk in that game. If you look up Aaron Gordon's dunk in that Phoenix Suns Denver Nuggets game, I'm pretty sure it'll come up. Unbelievable dunk. It was crazy. So he had the dunk of the night. Aaron Gordon was unbelievable. Of course, Nikola Jokic was unbelievable. The thing about that game, though, Devin Booker for the Phoenix Suns got hurt very early in that game. He had a groin injury prior to, and he tweaked it. He re-aggravated the injury within the first 4 minutes of this game.
Wow.
And he was out. So once I seen that happen, I was like, oh, this is not going to be a good game, because Phoenix Suns star player was out. So I said, oh, yeah, the Denver Nuggets are probably going to blow these guys out now. Phoenix has something to say about that.
You were wrong.
I was wrong. Phoenix, they hung in there without Devin Booker against a very, very good Denver Nuggets team.
Okay.
And I was impressed by the way they played. They lost the game ultimately, but I was impressed. If they had Devin Booker, they might have won that game. But yeah, that wasn't in the cards. So
But it definitely was very close.
very close. It was a 3-point game. It honestly was the most exciting game of the day, and I'm a huge Knicks fan. And this game was the best game. Obviously, my Knicks lost. I'll probably be saying something different if my Knicks won.
You might have your little Knicks gear.
I might have all that on right now. But between
we see you don't have your Knicks gear.
nah. See what happened was
what
happened was my Knicks it was a rough night last night. I'll say it to say the least. It's weird. I'm proud of them because of how hard they played last night. They did play very hard. They played very, very hard. But they still lost. And they had an opportunity to really win that game. They had an opportunity to win that game. And they lost. But I'll get into that in my next video.
Okay.
I will. I have a lot to say about that. And I just don't want to say it all right now.
Okay.
But I have a lot to say about it. I want to calm down a little bit from that game.
You want to calm down.
I want to calm down.
Also, this video is about the NBA.
It's about the NBA on Christmas Day, which, for the most part, I enjoyed the games.
Nice.
I enjoyed the games. Even the games that weren't that close, I still enjoyed them. And it was good to see. A lot of those guys love to play on Christmas. So it was good to see. It was good to see the Memphis Grizzlies get a chance to play on Christmas Day as well. Even though they lost, it was good to see them play on Christmas Day because they don't. I think this is the first time they ever played on Christmas Day. They're a small market team. The NBA a lot of times doesn't put small market teams on Christmas Day, but it was good that they got their shot to play on Christmas. So
good for them.
shout to the Memphis Grizzlies for being able to play on Christmas. That doesn't happen. So shout to them. They play that well.
Nice.
That they deserve the shot. And John Morant he's amazing. He's amazing. But again, shout out to Luka Doncic. So it's hard. It's hard for me to say that. And I like him. I like him as a player. He's one of my favorite players. But it's always hard when you're going against my Knicks and you beat my Knicks the way you beat my Knicks. But shout to Luka Doncic for making history last night. Shout to him. I gotta say that.
Okay. All right.
But yeah, my Knicks, they need to get a superstar. Or at least another all-star caliber player to go into the mix. But I digress.
Okay.
I'll leave it there.
All right. Nice. So chop it up in the comments. Let us know your thoughts. What was exciting to you on Sunday during the NBA on Christmas Day. And make sure if you like this video, you're sharing it with others. Hit that like button and be sure to subscribe. Until next time.
Peace.
Peace.